Welcome back, folks, to more Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. No Pokecenters, no Pokemarts. In the last episode, we were training up our newly caught Nidoran and also our Geodude here. Both of them gained substantial levels. Nidoran also evolved into Nidorino, and he's progressing very nicely towards the hopeful final evolution of Nidoking. The thing is, Nidoking requires us to get a Moonstone, which we won't be able to get for at least a couple more episodes, and for that reason, I do still want to gain Nidorino up a couple levels before we take on this Goldenrod gym. So in this part, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be training up a couple more levels, hopefully get to the point where we can actually take on the gym in this portion, and you guys will be able to see that, because I'm kind of tired of having these episodes where all we do is grind, and I'm sure that you guys are probably getting bored of that stuff too. So therefore, we're going to try and make a lot of progress here, gain a couple levels, and basically proceed towards the gym. So this first trainer here is a couple grass Pokemon that we want to take advantage of via Quilava's Fire-type moves. Therefore, I'm going to use Ember, KO all three of her Pokemon, and easily move on. There's one more trainer down here that does have some Pokemon that we can easily take out with Nidorino though, so I definitely want to switch him out and get him the experience, because he's going to be a very valuable member as far as facing the Goldenrod gym is concerned. Either way, first we're going to use a double kick on this Rattata. I probably could have just used a tackle actually, so that was a mistake on my part. Anyways, the next Pokemon this guy's going to be sending out is a Sandshrew, and we're going to want to use Vine Whip on that because everything else in our party may not be able to ensure the one-hit KO, because Sandshrew does have a fair bit of defense, even though it is only a Stage 1 Pokemon. And because you guys are probably tired of hearing that little beeping sound in the background, we're going to switch back out to Nidorino, who's not in the red and not ready to die to this Spearow. Nidorino, however, does have a Horn attack that's easily going to be able to KO this Spearow, and it should be able to KO this guy's final Spearow as well. So Nidorino is doing very nicely as far as the experience gain is concerned here, and definitely getting closer to a range where he should be able to easily deal with most things. This guy, however, here has a Mankey, and I believe Horn attack should be able to get the KO here. If not, that's perfectly fine with us. We do luckily score a crit there, which is nice, and I'm gladly in favor of that. And unfortunately, this guy also has a Diglett, which kind of poses a threat to me. It's a little fast, and I fear that if it lands a crit on Bellsprout, it's probably going to kill. Therefore, we're going to stay in. Hopefully it doesn't use a ground-type move, and we can KO with Horn attack. So, everything plays out nicely. Nidorino gets the job done, and we can easily proceed. So, having that knowledge gained from facing that trainer, I actually feel content in facing one of the trainers that we were previously avoiding. And so, because of that, we can gain some additional experience, and it definitely goes a long way towards defeating the gym leader. So, some definite pluses and some definite things learned in that battle that will greatly help us in the long run of things. So because our Nidorino is faster than Diglett's, as I saw in that last battle, I feel content in facing this Diglett with a Horn attack and easily one-hit KOing. So that's some of the knowledge that we gained, and it's very beneficial to us. She's got one more Diglett that's level 14, so it might be a little faster. We'll have to see. It's not faster, and we also score the one-hit KO, which is fantastic. 243 additional experience is definitely something I'm in favor of. She's got one more Pokemon. I think that's a he. I keep saying she. Nevertheless, yeah, Camper Ivan, definitely not a girl. But she has one more Pokemon, or he has one more Pokemon. It's a Zubat, and we're going to be able to finish that off cleanly with Makar, and it should be able to KO with one Rock Throw. We are faster than it, which is surprising. Usually Geodude is pretty slow, but luckily for us, we are level 19, so we're 9 levels ahead of it, and our speed is higher than a Zubat, which is great. So we get that extra experience on Makar as well. Now, I believe there's one trainer here as well that we do want Makar to face too. And he's got a couple Pokemon that do pose a bit of a threat to us. They do have some moves that are super effective, or not super effective, but not very. Both of these Magmars have Fire-type moves, which are not very effective against Geodude. However, they are special, and because of that, there's a chance that they will do some additional damage to Makar that I'd rather not be taking. there, for instance, Makar takes 8 points of damage. Both of their fire moves can actually burn us as well, so that is a bit of a risk. So hopefully we can get out this battle with unscathed. This next Magmar does pose a bit of a threat, because if he crits us or he burns us, it definitely puts Makar in a bit of a bind. So hopefully we can KO cleanly with Rock Throw. Luckily for us, he does use Smog, which is great because we're going to take next to nothing from that. We also don't get poisoned, and we KO with Rock Throw, which is a fantastic turnout for us. It means Makar's going to live for another day. He's going to gain experience, he's going to level up, all that good stuff. So definitely a great turnout in that battle, and something I'm definitely in favor of. Next thing we want to do is proceed towards the National Park here, where there are a couple trainers that are, at least one in particular, that we do want to face, at least for Quilava's sake, because any additional experience he can gain is definitely going to be beneficial enough for us in the long run, because Quilava is an important member and we want to make sure that he's getting involved in this training session as well. So don't worry, Xerxes, you aren't getting left out of the training. We are going to make sure that you're getting your experience as well. So there we go. Oddish gives us some extra experience on Quilava there. However, his next Pokemon is a Voltorb, and it should be easily taken care of with Makar, as we've seen in the previous episode. Voltorb throws a Screech at us, which misses, and it probably wouldn't have affected us too much. Unfortunately, we do get a Magnitude 4, which is a bit weak, and we don't get to KO there. However, all this Vortype can throw at us is a Tackle, which only does 1 point of damage anyways, so I feel content with just being able to KO with another Magnitude. That was a crit, but it probably didn't matter, as Geodude would likely KO in one more hit anyways. Like I said, the only threat that Voltorb poses to us is 1 hit or 1 HP damage of Tackle. And because our bag is starting to get pretty full, our bag, not our Pokemon, are starting to get pretty full, we want to get rid of some of the items that we don't need to hold on to right now. For instance, X-Accuracy is one item where that we can probably get rid of, at least storing in the PC. Repel we probably won't even need in the entire run, so I could probably just toss it. But instead, I'm just going to store it in the PC, because you never know when certain things are going to come in handy. Maybe it's going to be useful for when we try and catch something down the road, so... Nevertheless, we'll also deposit our Sunstone, because we won't be needing that for a while. Either way, we can pick up an Ice Berry here, which even though ice moves probably aren't a threat to me right now, I don't anticipate facing any ice types, at least for the foreseeable future. I just want to have that just on hand in case we do end up seeing something. This trainer up here, however, does have a Grass-type Pokemon as well, so we want to face him just because it will give Xerxes enough experience to get to level 20, so having that extra level can go a long way in advancing the plot for us. Unfortunately, we don't get the KO on Tangela, and it does get a hit off, but I don't really fear it could restrict too much. It only does 2 points of damage, as you can see there, and Tackle should be able to finish off this Tangela very nicely. So there we go, Xerxes gains his level, he gets a ton of experience, and he's halfway to learning his next move, which he will gain at level 21. So you guys will find out about that later on. So this person here is a girl who says that she sees this tree up here, and unfortunately for us, this tree can't be cut down, and it's going to need a water bottle. But in order to get that water bottle to find out what this tree is all about, we're going to have to defeat the gym leader. Therefore, we're going to start making our way back towards the Goldenrod gym, which I now feel a little bit more content to face. Now that we've trained up our Nidoran and our Geodude, I feel like we're in a fantastic position to take on the gym leader. We've also cleared out all of the trainers around here, at least all the ones that I feel content in facing at the moment, and I feel like Nidorino is in a fantastic position where, at his current level, he should be able to easily take on anything this gym can throw at us. Except for maybe the gym leader, who does pose up a bit of a threat, because most of the people who have played through the second gen games, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, will easily remember this gym leader as one of the toughest gym leaders early on in the games. She's only the 3rd gym leader, but she definitely poses a threat. One of her Pokemon in particular is something I'm definitely fearing facing right now. It certainly still poses a threat even at my current levels, and even with my full party, because all of her all of my Pokemon are easily in a KO range because of one move in particular, and I just don't feel content in facing her. I don't feel perfectly safe in facing her at the moment, but we're gonna have to face her eventually. Now we're learning Poison Sting though, and because Leer doesn't do damage, it can ensure some KOs, but I'd rather be one-hit KOing things with attacking moves than waste time setting up and risk actually taking additional damage. I'm gonna have to learn Poison Sting because it's a stab move, it gives us additional attacking PP, and it has a chance for poison, so it's all great benefits for Nidorino here, and Leer, although great, just doesn't compare to the benefits that Poison Sting gives us. Moving on here though, this trainer has 2 more Sentrets, all of increasing level, and they should be an easy KO range for our double kicks here. There we go. 2 double kicks easily takes out that Sentret. And she's got 1 more. Hopefully this one doesn't quick attack us. I'd rather not be taking that additional damage, which it doesn't. We also get a crit on double kick, which is nice. And we can easily proceed onwards as Nidorino gets that extra experience, and we can proceed forward. So, like I said, there's a couple trainers here, though, a couple more trainers here that do have some normal type Pokemon. This trainer in particular that's coming up does have some normal type Pokemon that does pose a bit of a threat to us. They can do some damage to us that, because they are faster, and because of that I feel content in using a potion, as I expect some damage, and I could probably use our remaining potion to just clean off the rest. So she sends out a Meowth, who should easily be KO'd with double kick. Luckily for us, we are faster, which is nice. I was certainly not expecting that. I was expecting Meowth to be a little bit faster because Meowth relatively has decent speed. However, we got pretty lucky there. Maybe it was a speed tie, who knows, and we were able to KO it. However, she does have a secondary Meowth though, and I'm not sure if this one's going to be faster. And like I said, there you go, it was faster. She also gets a crit, which definitely hurts. I much rather would not have that be a crit, but that's how things turn out, and we just have to take things as they come. Good thing for us, Nidorino does level up there, and so I feel content in proceeding towards taking on the rest of this gym. This is another trainer that is a necessary fight. She's got a Snubble, and I'm hoping that this Snubble actually attacks us because I'd rather use a healing item to restore something. Luckily, unfortunately she doesn't, and we're just going to finish it off with a tackle. So here we go. There's one trainer left that isn't mandatory. You can just avoid her like this, as I will show. However, she's got 3 Pokemon, all weak to Nidorino, and therefore I want to fight them just for the extra experience, because gaining that extra level could probably go a long way in assisting Nidorino in the upcoming fight. So here we go. She's got 3 Jigglypuffs, all level 15, all with relatively low speed, so we should be able to easily KO them, or one-hit KO them with double kicks. So 3 double kicks should easily part with all 3 of her Geodudes, all 3 of her Jigglypuffs. They're all level 15 and easily in KO range for Nidorino. So there you go. Number 2. 1 more. Knock it down. And Nidorino almost levels up. Now the thing is here, this gym leader in particular poses a really great threat to us. She's got 1 Pokemon in particular, which is a Miltank, and it has a recovery move. It has rollout, which, as I mentioned in the previous part, builds up over time, so the longer that thing stays alive, the more damage it's going to be doing to us. So for that reason alone, even though I do want to heal up Nidorino, I feel that the best thing for me to do is probably to, yeah, I'm just going to have to heal up Nidorino. I'd much rather not use berries. On second thought, yeah, I'd much rather not use berries, but I will end up using them. I don't want to waste a super potion here, so I feel content in using 1 berry and 1 potion to just restore Nidorino to a point where I feel like it's safe to take on this gym leader here. Her first Pokemon, of course, is also not a pushover either, so I'm going to have to require a little bit of luck on its part as well. but the second Pokemon is the one that I'm fearing the most. Her Miltank is definitely not something that's easily handled, and I'm hoping that Nidorino can get the job done. I'd much rather prefer Double Kick to be a one-hit KO on this Clefairy because I don't want to take too much damage from this Double Slap here. Luckily it is only a 3-hit KO and we only take, what is that, 9 points of damage. We should also be able to KO with a 1 tackle here, which is nice, and we do. We also gain an additional level, which gains us some extra HP, some extra offense, some extra defense, which hopefully should go a long way in taking down this Miltank, but who knows. We're definitely going to have to rely on some luck, because this Miltank is a pain. So many people have lost to Whitney simply because of this Miltank alone. And of course she's going to start off with Rollout, which is her most powerful attack. It just consistently does a brick ton of damage, and it's just something I'm just not looking forward to facing. It's going to start doing it. It's going to start building up a ton of damage. It only has a 10% chance of missing, and because of that, I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually going to get through this fight, because I'm going to have to rely on a miss, and I'm going to have to rely on a crit from Double Kick. So it's going to be a little dicey here, folks. As you can see, that last Double Kick did 17 points of damage. Luckily, we do score a crit there with Double Kick, which is nice. However, I believe this rollout is going to put us in a position where we're going to take a brick ton of damage. Hopefully she can miss, or we go first. We do have the Quick Claw on Nidorino, so I feel that we may be able to get a first strike, which we do, and we easily KO Miltank. So all that talk was for nothing. Nidorino definitely pulled through, and I don't know if we got through with luck there. You guys will have to comment, but nevertheless, we easily took out Whitney without too much trouble. Nidorino only lost half his health between 2 of her Pokemon, and what can we say? I definitely caught a break there, especially with that crit. So Whitney's crying, she doesn't want to give us the badge, but if we go back, start to leave the gym, this girl's going to say, go talk to her again, you can get the badge. So here we go, she's going to give us the badge, and that's great for us. It's definitely a plus that we finally earned this badge, because it means we can proceed onwards in the story. It increases our speed, and on top of that we get TM45, which is Attract, which, although it may have some use in competitive spheres, potentially, I don't feel as though it's going to have much value in this run. Attract can help us avoid some damage if we use it on a Pokemon that's an opposite gender than our own. However, in this type of run, I just rather be attacking things than trying to avoid their hits. So here we go. Now that we've received the gym badge, we can proceed to this garden shop here, and if we talk to this girl again, she says, when I told my sis that I wanted to face the street, she said it would have to be Whitney to get the squirt bottle. So if you talk to this girl, now that you've beaten Whitney, she's willing to give you the squirt bottle, which means we can now go proceed to catch the next Pokemon. The next Pokemon that we want for, I guess, our party. So we do have a bit of time left in this episode, so that's what I'm going to proceed to do. So all we got to do is cut down this tree here. And proceed up towards this tree here. Now, the thing is, this tree is a rock-type Pokemon called Sudowoodo. And the thing is, I don't really feel content in sending out Quilava, because Quilava's weak to one of his moves, Rock Throw, which is Stab, and could easily KO Xerxes at this point. At the same time, I also don't feel content in risking Nidorino's HP. For that reason, all of our Pokemon are kind of at a point where I don't really feel safe in sending out any of them against this thing. However, we're going to have to. I believe that Bellsprout is the fastest of our, is faster than this thing, despite being a lower level, and I believe that Bellsprout can probably get off at least one hit before biting the dust, and that should put us in range where we should be able to catch this Pokemon without too much trouble. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and land one Sleep Powder on Sudowoodo, If not, I'll send out Nidorino, try and weaken it that way, and we'll try and catch this Sudowoodo. So, hopefully we can catch it, because this is the only shot we've got. There's no resetting, there's no save states, there's no nothing. We have to catch this on our first try, so let's go, Bellsprout, get the job done. Luckily for us, the Sleep Powder lands, which is great. Hopefully, Vine Whip won't do too much damage at this point. I know Sudowoodo doesn't have the best defense, but, like I said, this Bellsprout should be able to get it to a point where it should be manageable to catch this thing. Sudowoodo also stays asleep, and at that range and sleeping, I feel content that a Great Ball should be able to catch it with ease. The thing is, I feel that sleep is probably the most useful status in this run, because with sleep, I can just send out Sudowoodo into a battle with a Pokemon that's going to do minimal damage to it, and just wait until it wakes up, whereas with paralysis, or freezing, or whatever other status you want to throw on there, it's something that I'm going to have to restore through other means. Anyways, Sudowoodo is going to be named Dom after someone else from the Zat, so hopefully Dom appreciates the fact that he is going to be a Sudowoodo, because Sudowoodo is a great member of our party. He's got some powerful moves, he's got some great PP, and a ton of utility for us. Anyways, now that we've cleared out that tree, this guy's going to reward us with a very great move. It's Rock Smash, which, although won't show much abuse right now, it certainly will prove its worth later on, as it gives us access to a bunch of different items and a bunch of different areas that normally we wouldn't be able to get to. The one thing I'm going to do before this episode runs out, though, is I'm going to switch out Sudowoodo and go fight some Hoppips